KROQ, Klein Alley Show. Avoid that 405 North around Sunset and Wilshire. If you're wondering why, there was a massive car chase. Wrong way. Had all the good bells and whistles of any good car chase. Maybe we break it down with the ADD News. Who knows? Here she is to deliver your first round of news of the morning. And then we'll get into Disneyland tickets as well as the Box of Shame, Friday Flex, and Johnny Doesn't Know. It's all coming up. But first, time for your news with Allie.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for some ADD news. My therapist says I'm good enough.
All right, yeah, let's get in.
Team, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bud Light Bros. You're making me blush. So, yeah, let's talk about what happened this morning. On our way in, there was a wrong-way driver on the freeway. There were tons and tons of cop cars that were responding. Of course, it just seemed like a regular police pursuit, but then it really got interesting when she started driving the other way, like reversing on the freeway as they chased her. And at one point, she started chasing the police down a different street. She started doing donuts in the street. Apparently, this woman was wanted for assault with a deadly weapon, but I think now she's going to be arrested for a whole lot more because she crashed. It ended because she crashed into a bunch of other cars that were stopped on the freeway because they had shut down the freeway. And then once they got her, they took her out of the car. She was sitting on the car, on top of it, handcuffed, and she just looks like she's got these crazy eyes. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how this all played out and what caused it. And we currently have a bet on what drug she was on.
And dangerous high-speed pursuit. The van you see right there, we understand there's a female driver. We don't know if there's anyone else inside that vehicle, but she's driving erratically.
This guy's in the middle of eating. You can tell as he's doing the report, Allie. He's got a mouthful of something.
He's got a scone.
He wanted his breakfast, and I don't blame him.
She's already slammed into a couple patrol cars, and incredibly, she actually chased a patrol car, went right at the patrol car, and the patrol car had to get out of the way. We understand there was possibly as many as 2 LAPD officers that have been hurt. We're right now on the 405 freeway northbound coming up into the Sepulveda Pass. Sunset is coming up. That's Sunset Boulevard right there. And you can see from time to time she drives extremely fast. Then she slows down, swerves in and out of traffic. It's a pit maneuver. They're doing the pit maneuver. They want to stop this. This woman is dangerous. We don't see a pit maneuver often on the freeway. The 2 LAPD officers have already been hurt. They're doing everything in their power to get this woman to pull over to the side and get this pursuit over. You see now they're going to pin her in.
This is where it escalates, and this is where
she goes into the car.
Yeah, you've heard a few calls on this, but this is one of the strongest calls yet.
And that was not successful. She was able to get away once again. So they have about a dozen LAPD patrol cars behind this vehicle right now. Two officers, we understand, have already been hurt. We don't know how badly, but you very seldom see this. This is how badly they want to take this woman into custody. You can see the patrol car was damaged there, trying to get up to this van. It's a big van. They're trying to get right up next to it, slam it up against the side of the K-rail or the shoulder there, and that did not work. That was not successful. There's an LAPD helicopter overhead. We're still on the 405 freeway northbound. You see the night sun right there. There's no volume on the 405 north, so
There's the upside right there. No volume on the 405 north.
Well, there's another piece where, like, when I saw 20 cop cars driving past me going the opposite direction, I was like, kick it up about 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, all the cops were busy with something.
I'm not going to see them.
Time to go a little fast, and then this is the part.
If she continues, though, she's going to go head on into the officers.
And do we know, Scott? We know a woman is driving. Do we know, are there any passengers in the vehicle with her?
We don't believe so. This is incredible. We don't believe so, but we don't know for certain. It's hard to tell because you can't get inside that van. But she is just flooring it right now, getting as much power to that vehicle as possible, and it's just spinning around in circles. It's a big van, though, and the patrol cars just don't have the weight or the mass to really stop this vehicle. But you can tell she's lost control of it. There's enough damage to the vehicle right now where she has lost control of that vehicle, and she can't really continue on. It looks like now they may be able to pin her.
And this is where she decides to smashy. But I will say that it's interesting that you would think they would think when they're trying to figure out, how to stop cars. Vans, that's it? We don't have a police force that can take down a van?
It's too big for them to stop it.
It's a van.
What?
It's just a regular work van.
Why don't we have a defense against the #1 most creepy vehicle of all time?
Look, you would think if you're building anything at all, you're like, all right, what vehicles do we need to be on the lookout for?
Can it withstand a van?
Yeah,
That's all you should think about when you make police cars. Yeah, it's
They
nuts.
did confirm she was a woman like 11 times, though, during the chase.
Yeah,
which
but
is
the whole beginning of it, they're like, we're not sure if it's a man or a woman. We're not sure. It's so funny for them to give updates, but also try and guess. There was like eventually a gender reveal of the suspects.
Yeah.
It was so great.
When she smashed into the cars, a bunch of pink smoke came out.
I saw.
So that's how they knew.
Saw her boobs jostling. So, would you support a ban of anti-aging skincare products for children? Or have people just gotten too sensitive? It seems like anti-aging is something that you don't need to worry about when you're 13 because the ultimate anti-aging product is youth. But kids are buying products with anti-aging chemicals in them like retinol and alpha hydroxy acid, which is not only a waste of money on a 13-year-old, it can be pretty bad for your skin long term. So if this bill is passed, stores would have to somehow make sure that everyone who buys this stuff is over 13, which I don't... It's not like every 13-year-old's walking around with an ID or 14, to prove that you're over a certain age.
Are they getting high with this stuff, or what are they doing with it?
No, they're putting it on their faces. They're
for what?
For anti-aging.
By the way, Omar, it's so funny you say that. When I saw the headline that said skincare products banned for children under 13, I was like, oh, man, I didn't realize I could eat my wife's skincare
Yeah, that's what I thought,
and
too.
get a quick buzz. I was like, that's amazing. She's got drawers full of that stuff.
Something probably would happen.
So it's only because I was like, man, kids really suck these days. Like back in our day, we would figure out a way to take stuff like, oh, let's see, that's keyboard cleaner. Let's go ahead and let's inhale that and see what
now
happens.
People are actually cleaning their keyboards and just putting retinol in their faces.
Yeah, they're actually using it for how it was intended, but they're a little too young.
But it's like Instagram ruined it for kids,
Because they want to have the good skin.
Yeah, and like beauty
Filter
influencers.
skin.
Yeah, they feel like they have to do all this stuff at a young age. All right, if you go to Netflix, there are a million different documentaries that you can watch, and here's another one. It's the Ashley Madison documentary.
Already watched it.
Oh, you did?
All 3 episodes.
There's only 3?
3 episodes. It is great.
So the dating site for cheaters, it was very popular until about 10 years ago when the big data breach happened and released the identity of 30 million people who were using the site, and a lot of them were very well-known, famous people. Some of those people who were exposed were in the documentary, and I guess it's kind of cool to see them acknowledge what they were doing. But then there were some other people who were not in the documentary, like this. There was like this GOP lawmaker guy from Louisiana, and he was like, I was using it for research on my opponent. And it's like, what?
A lot of people...
Can you just admit that you were on the site? No one needs to do that for research.
A lot of people had their excuses as to why they were on Ashley Madison, and the site was pretty clear. It was like, life is short, have an affair. And it was pretty clear, like, this is why you're on the site. You want to have an affair. And a lot of people said, I didn't want to have an affair. I just wanted to see who else wanted to have an affair.
I know. It's like,
which is
what
a great
kind of
story.
the excuses that people used were classic.
But, I was
was
into
a good
the
watch?
show. Yeah, I was watching it. My wife was like, why do you like the show so much? And I was like, I just think it's a good show.
World famous KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
KROQ.
World premiere, new Billie Eilish on KROQ. It's called Lunch. And now I'm just hungry. Let's get your ADD news a little bit later. Coming up in about an hour, we have the fine folks from Royal Otis stopping by to perform in the KROQ kitchen.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for some ADD news. Is the FCC okay with me saying okay? Good to know.
All right. So what is the number one band reunion that everyone is waiting for, especially when it comes to KROQ listeners?
Oasis.
That's right.
The only
Oasis.
one anyone talks about now.
It's the
Oasis.
only one that's left, I think. So over the years, the Gallagher brothers have been asked over and over again if they would ever reunite, and over again they've said no in various ways and insulted each other in the process. But finally, after all this time, there has been a yes. But there's a twist. Noel Gallagher said that he would be down to do a reunion of Oasis, but it would have to be a hologram reunion. Apparently, he saw ABBA perform in London, and he was blown away because they were using avatars of themselves from, like, the 70s. And he was so blown away by it that in the podcast that he was just on, he said, I would reunite Oasis in this way. I would be down to do that.
But that wouldn't necessarily be reuniting them because they would just be using old stuff. Right, it would
be old images of them, yeah. But
so that's not reuniting.
If they're reuniting in hologram form, isn't that better than nothing? Don't you think people would buy tickets to that? I do.
Yeah, they would sell, but I still don't think it counts as a reunion of any sort because I think everyone wants to see if the two of them would ever get back together and play music because they hate each other so much.
But think about if he was going to stay in his space and play music, and then Liam was going to stay in his space, play music. They mash it all together. They put some holograms. And they just make them be together without actually having to be together.
I would be into it if the holograms fought. if at some point the
Got in a
holograms
fist fight.
got into a fist fight with each other, I would totally go to that.
It's just one strangles the other one.
It's so great.
It just eventually ends in one
I don't
of them
know.
dies.
They're just doing that thing where it's like an X. They kind of breadcrumb you along, thinking there's a chance, and it's not happening. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I know. I do feel kind of led along. Shohei Ohtani is already a legend, and it's only still the beginning of the Dodgers season. And this week they did their first Shohei Ohtani bobblehead giveaway,
what a
where the
mess
first
that was.
40,000 fans got a free bobblehead. And it's cool, and it has like Japanese anime on the sides of the box. So it's really unique looking, and they think this is going to resell for tons of money. So the lines were absolutely insane. 2 hours before the game, there were cars snaking down all the major roads. All the parking lots were completely full. And one of the bobbleheads is currently listed on eBay for $999.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of. They're going up there. A lot of people. It's annoying because people grab them, and it used to be can't wait to grab it, open it up, make that little head bobble. Now it's immediately people posting, loading, going on there from their seats. They're posting on eBay trying to sell them already.
Hey, there's one right here for 1,600, 56 bids.
What?
Yeah.
With 56 bids?
Yep. Yeah, people, they're going to sell because obviously the fan base back home, too. So it's a great investment. I mean,
Do you
see
have
the
you have bobbleheads?
Yeah, Jake, you can take all my bobbleheads to your pawn shop next week and see if they're worth anything. I got a bunch of bobbleheads. Maybe you'll finally get
What
a
is
dollar.
the most valuable one you think you have?
I got the cast of The Office in bobblehead form. A lot of them are broken, though. A lot of the heads fell off. I think I have
That
one.
does happen.
I have one from maybe an old Dodge. I got a few. I got some in there that was some value, maybe.
All right, cicadas, trillions and trillions of them have been hatching all over the country. Thank God we are not a part of that. But no matter if you go on the East Coast or anywhere in the Midwest, you probably have tons of cicadas flying around. And now here is a growing trend on social media, eating cicadas and cooking up recipes like cicadas in a blanket. There is a stay-at-home dad that is now going viral for a meal that he has created using cicadas. And what do you think, Klein? Because I know you love a pig in a blanket. Would you eat a cicada in a blanket?
What does that mean? They wrap the cicada in like crescent roll?
Yeah,
or
you see those little eyeballs hanging out?
Oh, God. Oh. No, I would not.
Wait. What if there was like a cheese dipping sauce or something?
I'm back in.
Okay.
As long as cheese is involved.
Hey guys, what's going on? Love the show. Been listening to KROQ in the morning since the Kevin and Bean days. The transition was iffy, but gotta say 100% I'm on board with you guys.
Oh.
Your secret. My secret? Yeah. Tequila?
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Hell yeah, the weekend is here. Welcome to the weekend. Are you ready for the rear end? We are Klein Alley Show. I'm Klein, that's Alley.
You a 10, girl.
She's a 10, feeling good about that. That's Postmaster Johnny back there taking the calls, and a lot of people defending Postmaster Johnny saying we should have given him credit for his answer to the question about colleges, where we said, what's the area called usually in the middle of the campus? We were looking for Quad, and he said where the Panda Express and Subway are. And everyone on the text line, no matter where they went to college, seems to universally agree that that's absolutely correct. At some point in the middle of campus, that's where you'd find the Panda Express and the Subway.
Which you said there was one at your college.
There was.
There wasn't one at mine.
Oh, it's great.
I told you guys, it's everywhere.
Yeah, Johnny's right. We should rename the Quad the Panda Express / Subway. Crossroads. That's Jake the Nerd back there. He's the audio sniper. Excuse me, the assistant to the assistant of the audio sniper. That's the real audio sniper. His name is DJ Omar Khan. And this hour, oh man, we got some good stuff for you this hour. We'll get you into Disneyland. That's coming up in about 55 minutes. We also have for you, if we have time, the Box of Shame. I hope we don't. Allie's going to go ahead and share some inspirational words in her commencement address. You already heard mine last hour. Standing ovation. Some people are still standing. Allie will be doing hers this hour to get the people excited.
And also a Photoshop battle still happening at Klein Alley Show with Klein when his girls made him over for their spa night. And here's one of the latest ones, Klein.
Oh, I've been photoshopped into the car chase that happened on the 405?
Yeah,
oh, man.
The woman who just got arrested.
They put my face on the body of that. If you're wondering
Your
why
body's never looked so good.
I know. It is the best I've ever looked. The 405's all messed up because there was a crazy high-speed chase that took place while we were coming to work this morning around 5 a.m. and it ended around sunset and Wilshire area on 405, and it is still, I don't know if they cleared it yet, but it looks like it's still complete chaos there. So
I think there'd be a lot to clean up.
Set your drives accordingly.
Klein, Alley Show. The world famous KROQ. KROQ.
Friday morning, KROQ. Disneyland tickets in about 5 minutes. We'll get you in. And already, Allie, you've been getting a lot of blowback from your graduation speech you gave earlier on the show this morning. If people missed it earlier this hour, Allie said a lot of things, and people have already called not only the GO line to complain, but they've called the actual main switchboard here at KROQ.
Yes, I was listening to KROQ this morning. It's 8:27 a.m. There was a skit by the disc jockeys, in particular, an individual named Allie. She stated that I have diarrhea. That's totally inappropriate. I mean, it's not funny. I wonder what the FCC would say about this.
I mean, of all the things you said a lot of problematic things in that speech, but boy, people are not happy about it. I don't think that's a regular listener to the show, but he was sampling KROQ this morning. I don't know if he'll be back.
Yeah, know it's bad when they get like some kind of Zoom phone number that they have to call and leave a message.
Not
and
good.
Pass it on to us.
Most of that speech, Allie did not give. It was out of context. But regardless,
I'm sick of having to defend myself.
She's already winded. Let's get into your news now, then your Disneyland tickets. Here we go.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. I wonder what the wait times at Disneyland are.
All right, Harrison Butker is public enemy number one this week, and more people have been speaking out against his commencement speech, which actually Klein repeated verbatim earlier in the show.
Yeah, no one complained about that.
Nobody complained about that.
I gave that as my very own speech this morning.
But the city of Kansas City has spoken out against him. The NFL has said some things. Now the wife of one of the big stars on the Chiefs, I believe a receiver, is saying that it was horrible. And now some of the people who were actually there, some of the graduates, are speaking out. One college student, a woman, said it was effing horrible. Some of us did boo. Me and my roommate definitely did. But there was a standing ovation from everyone in the room except me, my roommate, and about 10 to 15 other women. And she said, yes, I realize that I go to a Catholic and conservative college, but the reaction among the guys was what made her feel the worst. She said a lot of the men were going, F yeah! And they were so excited, but it was horrible. Most of the women were looking back and forth like, what the F is going on?
I mean, it's wild to me that we have to still discuss in 2024 the concept of equality, the concept of just like a man, a woman can do anything she wants for 70 cents on the dollar. But still, I mean, it's just crazy.
We need a man like you to now voice his opinion in public and put him in his place.
Just insane to me. Like, we say things here in jokey way all the time. We all like to have fun, but like that was not a speech that was wrapped in humor.
Wouldn't that be so great if today he was like, just kidding?
Yeah, maybe he was like working on it. He was like, I was supposed to go up on the Tom Brady roast, and that was my routine. I never got to use it. But
yeah, but some other people have been saying, you know what? Yes, it's prehistoric, but that's his opinion, and he's entitled to his opinion. Where I have a problem is like, why are you imparting that on a graduating class? Like, why aren't you just saying that in your regular life? And not like you don't need to put all that onto some college kids that are just that they worked hard for 4 years.
It's like a religious college, right?
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't really. I feel like a commencement speech is meant to inspire the people that you're talking to, and not let them know that, and not let them know that their degree is pretty much for nothing or that it won't make them happy.
I mean, he said terrible things about a bunch of groups of people, but the concept of what he said to women, which is really everything you do in your life won't matter unless you have children. I know a lot of women don't want to have children.
What your true passion is should be getting married and having children, and that's your true vocation.
It's just such a very dated concept. I mean,
he should have said this.
Rock those panty lines. Am I right? That's right, Allie.
That would have been a good speech. That would have wowed the crowd there.
All right, if you were scrolling the news last night, you may have seen the same headline pop up as I did, which was the following. Avril Lavigne responds to rumors that she's dead and has been replaced with a woman named Melissa. Now, if you are familiar with this conspiracy theory, it's been around for years, this rumor that Avril Lavigne is already dead and she has been replaced with a doppelganger because she looks exactly the same as she did 20 years ago, and there's no way that that's humanly possible.
It's incredible what it is. Incredible.
And she really does look exactly the same. So she was on that podcast, Call Her Daddy, and she addressed it and said that she thought it was both dumb and funny, but obviously, quote, I am me.
That's a good line.
And honestly, this conspiracy theory is not that bad. It could be worse, right?
Yeah, look,
and
that's
true. It is
saying
a
she hasn't
complimentary.
aged at all. No one's accused us of dying 20 years ago and having actors playing
They're like,
us.
Klein is dead and has been replaced with an 80-year-old man.
A version of myself, yeah.
All right, half of the country have what is called sleeper laws. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. I'm just learning about them. But basically, if your parents get sick and die and have horrible medical bills, those bills get passed on to you.
Sweet.
That's a sleeper law.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and apparently they're around in a lot of states, but they're not really enforced. And now they're trying to revive these sleeper laws and start holding people accountable for these bills. So if somebody was in hospice or if somebody had, a lot of bills racked up at the end there, which most of them do, that would then be passed on to you, because now that you don't have college debt, you can have this kind of debt.
Wow. Yeah, my buddy's dad passed away, and the dad had a ton of credit card debt, and it all went to him.
Well, the regular debt does, yeah. And I think the medical debt was kind of like being swept under the rug, and they were just kind of like doing people a solid, but now I think it's starting to change.
We get into a brand new hour of the show, and we make it the greatest morning of your life by giving you not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 tickets to Disneyland. Caller 20. I'm looking for you now at 800-520-1067. Let's send you to Pixar Fest.
Klein Alley Show.
My name is Lily. I'm 7 years old. I listen to you every day.
We did it.
Lonya!
Lonya! It is what it is. Good night.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Thank God it's Friday!
Eventful morning as we welcome you to the weekend here at KROQ. This hour, you picked the right hour to tune in. We start with Disneyland tickets. Royal Otis sold out some shows. They were at the sold out Fonda show last night. Postmaster Johnny said it was pretty amazing. And then they've got their headlining U.S. tour, which apparently is already all sold out, including when they're back here in October for shows at the Bellwether. Those sold out quickly. They even added a second show, and that's sold out. So you know this band because you've been hearing a lot of Murder on the Dance Floor on KROQ. You've been hearing the new one, Linger. Of course, their original song, Sofa King. I think that got its world premiere on KROQ as well. Regardless, they're a band that's going places. Postmaster Johnny believes that they are the next really, really, really big thing.
Yes, this is the band in their prime, and they're about to blow up, and we caught them really early, and I love this for them.
So anyway, Royal Otis will be coming in to hang with us this hour. If you don't know them, you'll get to know them, and they're going to do a little concert right outside of our studio here in the KROQ kitchen, which, by the way, someone already microwaved something very stinky. Mm-hmm. So, looking at you, kid. I'm Klein.
I'm done with my chicken.
That's Allie.
Hi.
You got Jake the Nerd over there. Postmaster Johnny. You just heard from him in the back taking your calls at 800-520-1067. The MVP, of course, DJ Omar Khan, the audio sniper.
Hello.
And there she is, Vanessa, back from surgery. Let's go ahead.
To have her.
Say hi to caller 20, which puts us on Armando. Watch out, Allie. In Los Angeles, California. Armando.
I'm going to Disneyland.
You're going to Disneyland.
And I love and appreciate you, sir.
Disneyland. Thank you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Thanks for checking out KROQ. Thanks for starting your day right here. Enjoy your tickets. Have fun at Pixar Fest. And remember, we will be here for you again on Monday morning, so you better be here for us, all right?
Thank you. You guys are awesome.
All
Have
right,
an awesome day.
Thank you, Armando. There you go, Allie. Anything else you want to say to him?
I love and appreciate Armando.
Where's
and
the
I
clip?
hope he has
Play
a wonderful
the clip.
time. We're not playing the clip.
Thanks for eavesdropping in on our radio show, you perverts.
Yeah. When you're not being reported by your neighbors, you can check out the podcast or the live show on KROQ or wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right, which apparently is a lot of places. Find Klein Alley Show and listen to this show in its entirety. Plus, if you download and subscribe, we will save a puppy from being executed.
Oh my God, there's puppies being executed?
Oh, there goes another one.
Oh, those are high stakes.